Welcome to Sunny Dialogues YouTube channel with Coach Evolved Faith. My name is Faith Warue. This channel is all about inspiring you and igniting you to take action to make your life have meaning. Please feel free to share this video with your friends and family. And don't forget to give me feedback so that I can know the topics that you'd like me to tackle. A lot of my words are coming from my personal experience in life because I've gone through hard knocks and I've also gone through very beautiful moments in life. And I'm so excited to share that. I will be as authentic as I can be and just make people know that it's okay to be who you are. You are perfect the way you are. I don't want to go deeper into unpacking that video because I'll share with you a slide that captures a number of things that I worked on, what I had, what I believed I needed to have had, but it comes down to creating procrastination and self-doubt. The more you overanalyze, the more you start doubting yourself, and the more you find yourself not moving forward. So that's really, I want to wrap the first video that way. I'm really happy that I jumped in and did. Start on today's video because today's video starts now. Today I want to talk about how you can ensure that you do it and do it right, and do it without fear, but do it with confidence. And the first place I want to start with is that point of having a dream. Do you know every one of us has a dream? Everyone, including the small children that we are raising. A 4-year-old girl the other day told me that she'd like to be a doctor when she grows up. And this arose because somebody else had asked her whether she'd like to be a nurse when she grows up. And she said, no, I would like to be a doctor so that I can buy my mommy and daddy toys. And I thought, wow, you see, the child still has dreams, and she even moves a step further and knows that when she's a doctor, she'll make money and she'll be able to buy her parents' toys because toys are the most important things in her life right now. And she thinks the parents need the toys. Wow! God bless little children. So, every one of us has a dream. What's your dream? What do you think about constantly? Because when you listen to yourself, you will notice that you have frequent ideas that pop into your head, thoughts that, just you think of doing something, you think of creating something that can come up with a solution, or you even dream and desire to have things. Lupita Nyong'o, the actress, the Kenyan actress, said that your dream is valid. I want to add on to that and say, and each one of us has a dream. And we have a duty to bring our dream to life because it is by bringing that dream that you have to life that you will make life better for yourself and for other people around you. Can you imagine if I hadn't worked on myself, worked on my low self esteem, my unworthiness, my fear of judgment and all that, I wouldn't be talking today. But here I am speaking, and I know that as I speak, there's somebody whose life is going to be changed. And I believe this channel that I have started will be a place of healing and inspiration. So you may not be thinking of doing something that heals somebody else, but you may be thinking or dreaming of something that would be entertaining somebody. You may be dreaming of things that can add value to society. Yesterday I went to the dentist and they were taking x-rays of my teeth. And it reminded me of the story of Marie Curie, the lady who, the physicist, who led the research on radioactivity. Many years ago, she was born in the 1800s, and in the early 1900s, her research discovered radioactivity. And this lady refused to patent that because she felt if she patented it, she would be restricting the medical fraternity from using her discoveries so that, and therefore she decided not to patent it so that the medical fraternity could advance research. And out of that, today we have such advanced technology in taking x-rays that I can just sit there and they take my x-ray without me having major side effects like those days when Marie Curie and her husband discovered radioactivity. So I would like to say that don't hold in your dream. Please dream and understand that your dream is valid and you have it in yourself. Bring it out. How do you bring it out? The first step is to visualize it. Think about it, visualize it. I like visualization because when you visualize, I'm telling you, I can just be sitting in a desert and in my mind, I can actually be sitting in a beach. I can just visualize myself being in the beach, walking in the beach and just feeling very good. So when we is where we can start seeing them and perceiving them, and ultimately we'll be able to manifest them and bring them to life. So visualizing gives your dream clarity, and then it also gives it a focus. Clarity, focus, and ultimately gives it a drive. Let me give you an example. When you suffer panic attacks, you dream of a time when you would stop having those panic attacks. And most people will say, oh, I really hate these panic attacks. I wish they could go away. And in saying that, you're already seeing and yearning for that time when you can live your life without having any panic attacks. So that's a very simple example, but a very difficult one, because if you have ever experienced a panic attack, you know how unsettling it is and how it even distorts your mind and how you even interact with other people and takes you to very ugly places. But imagine if you can just think about that time the panic attack can go away and start visualizing that moment. I'm telling you, you will start working towards understanding what triggers your panic attacks and then work and commit to work to do away with them. And I'm saying this with confidence because I have had severe panic attacks. I've had those moments that were very, very ugly, but eventually I was able to get out of it. We'll talk about that as another video. But today I wanted to talk about dreaming, visualizing, and I said that when you visualize, you see your dream in totality. A very good physical example is a home. Most of us desire to have our own homes, whether it's rented, built, or bought. And you can imagine the kind of home you want to live in, such that when you start looking for a house to rent, you already have a concept in your mind that you will bring out, or rather that you're searching for, such that you can move from house to house and say, I don't want to rent this one, it's cheaper than the other one, but I prefer the other house. And the reason why you prefer the other house is because you have in your mind a picture of the kind of home you want to be in. Now, when you have a clarity of your vision, and then it focuses you, because now you have the picture, you can see it. So you're focusing on it and it motivates you. And that's where your drive comes in. It motivates you to take action. But before you jump in and take action, because some of us are very fast, we run and take action, it's good to plan. and organize your the next plan. So for example, where are you going to look for a house, the location of your house, or what kind of a house, what's the budget that you're going to have, if you want to build it, if you want to rent it, what's the budget, and you have the money. So as you plan that out, you realize that you may have situations like, I don't even have a job, but I would really want to have a house. So as you plan out, you start thinking, where can I get a job, or what kind of job can I do? Do I have the necessary skill set to get a job that would pay me good money? If I don't have those skill sets, then can I start with what I can do, even if it's a manual job, so that I can raise some money and start putting it aside, so that I can go back to school, or I can just learn skills. And nowadays with YouTube, you can learn a lot of skills that you can use to increase your marketability. Or if you're experiencing panic attacks, because I talked about the panic attacks, then you can ask yourself, what do I need to get out of this situation? And you can start researching, you can read, you can talk to people and find out. For example, Faith, how did you overcome the panic attacks? If you really experienced them as I'm experiencing them, how did you overcome that? So you read, and then you can also learn. You can also plan on working out. You can also plan on what you will do in case a panic attack comes, and also have a journal that you can note down, in case a panic attack comes, what is triggering it. So in the process of thinking what you're going to do so that you can alleviate these panic attacks, you're actually planning and organizing yourself. I'm saying this because I believe the business of life is simplifying life. So we don't have to think about this thing in big terms, or like this information that I'm giving out is meant to be for the people who are working in big offices. No, even in your life, it is very, very important. And the same rules apply for the corporate world to your individual journey of self growth. So when you organize, when you plan and organize, then the next step you need, because remember, your plan will be your reference manual. Yeah, it will be your reference manual. And you realize that as you plan, you will find that you might have a plan that when you relook it, it doesn't work out so well. So you don't discard it, but you add on to it, you develop it further. If it doesn't work well, plan A, you can cancel it out. Then develop a second plan, developing onto plan A. Then if the second plan is not the right one, then still work on your plan until it is refined in such a manner that it can take you to where you want to go. So you tick plan C. And then plan C is meant to take you to the next step. Which is the next step? Now that you have your plan, you have your dream, you visualized it, you have planned and organized yourself, then set your goals. And in setting your goals, do not shy away from setting audacious goals. Set them. Remember, you have a big dream? Set audacious goals, but make sure that they are real and they are authentic. Real and authentic. You cannot eat an elephant by taking it whole. It's too big, but you have to cut it down into small pieces if you have to eat the elephant. You know, there's a saying that says you cannot eat an elephant unless you cut it into small bits so that you can break it down. So it goes that goes for the goals that you set. Make sure that your goals are long-term. You have long-term goals, medium-term goals, and then there are short-term goals, which are immediate goals. When you have the three goals, take baby steps. Take baby steps. Don't take a big stride, because when you take a big stride, you might fall and be discouraged or even break your leg. But when you take, and when I mean breaking a leg, I mean that you can take on a big goal that requires a lot of money, and then it discourages you because you don't have enough money to do the project that you want to undertake. And that's why sometimes you'll find somebody starts building a house, and halfway the house is abandoned, and all that money and effort that you put in there can go to waste. But when you plan and organize yourself, and then you make goals, then you're able to say, my immediate goal is to have an architect build an architect draw the blueprint of my house, the plan of my house. And then you can wait for some time so that you can put your resources together, and then you can decide the next step that I need to do is start paying for my materials. Maybe you can find people that you can pay materials you can pay materials even without collecting them, until that time when you have amassed enough materials to put up your house. So I'm just giving that as an example so that you don't start with building the house and you don't have everything there. But basically, I'm saying whatever it is you need to do, please take baby steps, tiny little steps. As a coach who's solution focused, I would say think about that one thing that you can do within 24 hours. And I'll challenge you at the end of this video, can you just think of something that you can do within 24 hours that does not involve other people? It doesn't involve, um, contacting people or people giving you guidelines or anything, but just thinking in your head can be an instant thing. Thinking and putting your plan out, that is something that you can do almost instantly, and then keep refining it. But in taking baby steps, remember every baby step you take will lead to a bigger step, and gradually it will become a really big achievable. It will become the big long-term goals that we're looking at, or the big goals that you had planned to have. So now we have our goals. We're ready to move on to the next step. And the next step is actually to do, implement. In taking that baby step, after setting the goal, you're actually implementing your plan. And it's by implementing that plan that you will learn the things that are necessary to make your dream become a reality. At this point, you start pruning those things that don't work. So, for example, if you're building a house, you'll start analyzing, did I want a kitchen this big, or did I want the kitchen this small? Should the sink be here, or will it obstruct somebody who's cooking? How, and you'll start organizing your house just at that point when you start taking the steps. When you're building a house, sometimes you may even feel like you need to knock off some walls. You may decide you want to change the size of the window. Maybe it's too small, so you add it, make it larger, or it's too large, so you make it smaller. And that goes for every other item, or every other situation, or every other thing that you need to action in your life, including things like relationships. Even in relationships, you can set relationship goals. And one of the goals can be working on yourself in such a way that you don't have to get angry, or you don't have to see every small mistake your partner makes or your child makes. And start learning that as you open your mouth to speak, you hold the words back. because the words you want to you'd have said if you had not thought about it would have been hurtful. They would wound the other person. So when you start learning how to measure the kind of words you use, you're actually taking action. The action may be internal, but the minute you speak the words, the action becomes external. But it's an action. And even in these things, we have to set goals, yeah, that I will purpose to speak words that build people. I will start by managing my thoughts, the way I see things, the way I perceive them. I will start by asking myself questions. If I like my house very clean, super clean, is it more important to keep my house very clean, or is it more important to have a conversation, a building conversation with a friend or with a loved one? Is that time worthwhile, or would I rather forego having that conversation that can help somebody who's going through a challenge, you know, and then come and clean some dishes or my house later? What really matters? So there are various areas of our lives that require action to be taken in. And I would say, please just examine your life and see what areas do you need to take action? What areas do you need to change? What areas do you need to start doing? Not just afraid, but actually doing with confidence and commitment, without waiting for people to give you accolades, without waiting for people to give you affirmations. I said earlier, I'm a woman who has evolved over time, and as I continue growing older and maturer, I am so excited, that I learned the need to grow myself and become who I am. My passion is inspiring people. Sometimes I just feel like shaking somebody up and telling them, you know what, you are lovable, you are love itself, you know. So just believe in yourself and do what needs to be done to make your life have meaning. Connecting with the self, because I believe that is where the power for us to live a quality kind of life lies. So in the next video I will share, it will be talking about just that, connecting with the inner self, tapping into your essence. Be inspired.